My name is Shay. Today is most definitely not Wednesday, and this is my beloved Gavin. This is a belated take on the honeymooning video. And Gavin likes raspberries. They're one of his favorites. So the video topic that we're playing along with was the kind of how was your honeymoon, how's life been after it. To give you some context, August will be our 3-year anniversary. And look, Gavin doesn't like it when I say this, but
is it gonna make me blush?
Yes. No. We're kind of joined at the hip, like breathe each other's air kind of people. And what's that word for it?
You say we're codependent.
Codependent, there you go. That's what he doesn't like.
Not in a completely, like, where we can't function if the other one's not around kind of codependent. It's just, we're each other's best friends.
Yes. And
lovers and confidants and all that jazz. So,
yeah.
We really don't like being around anyone else very much.
Or apart. And it's funny because, alright, so we met mid-2010, and then we got together in August, and, but up until then, you know, I'd pick up Gavin from his abode, and then drop him off on my way to work in the morning.
Are you seriously going to tell them that?
And we would get, like, all mushy and sad because we were being separated for the day.
Whatever, we cried.
Okay, we cried. I was trying to save us some dignity.
No. No, every time she dropped me off at my house, we would cry. Not necessarily in front of each other, but, like, after she had left.
Yeah, we'd get really sad.
And then one of us, like, very ashamed admitted it to the other one day, and the other one was like, oh, I do that too.
So, yeah, we've definitely always been
very close.
Very, very close. And I think to this day, almost 3 years later, the longest we've spent apart was like 7 days total.
Which was last week.
Which was last week, actually. I had to go to Tennessee for a week for some stuff with school, and it was awful, too, because I was out in the middle of nowhere, and there was no phone service. So, like, I couldn't even freaking text him, and there was internet, but it wasn't always available, so I just made lots and lots and lots of trips to the internet place, and
gosh, it sucked so bad.
It just sucked. But, yeah, I don't know, we've just always been like that. Something we like to say, or, that's Keela, she says hi. So, yeah, our honeymoon hasn't really stopped, and I think it gets kicked back in whenever we're separated for a couple days, and then we, like, desperately miss the other, and
yeah, like, I mean, we really, really don't like being separated, but we're also aware of the fact that a little distance, you know, it's good to miss each other every so often, because it helps remind you what you truly do have and what you're blessed with when you're able to miss it.
Yeah.
So while it sucks, we do appreciate the positive effects that a short separation has.
Yeah, totally. Earlier this year, Gavin was working a lot in a town...
Borger?
Well, yeah, in just a couple different places that are... He's a travel nurse. And so it was better if he spent the night there for, you know, like, back-to-back shifts or...
Oh, that was San Angelo.
San Angelo, yeah, like a bunch of days back-to-back. And so it would technically be smarter if he just stayed there, but after, like, 2 or 3 days, or was like, please come home, I miss you.
Yeah, and it's like a 2.5-hour drive one way.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, so whenever we've been separated for, I think, longer than 24 hours, it immediately kicks off another little honeymoon phase, and we'll cuddle 24/7, and yeah, that kind of mushy awesomeness.
Breathe each other's air.
Breathe each other's air.
Crawl under each other's skin.
Yeah, all that non-creepy stuff.
We also do a lot of things to help maintain that level of joy in the relationship. Like, it's always been very important from the get-go for me as a partner to make sure that Shay is my partner never has any doubt about how appreciated she is and how grateful I am to have her. I just like for her to be aware of all the wonderful, beautiful things she brings to my life. And she does that for me, too. Because it's really easy when you're in a relationship, especially a long-term relationship, to get complacent and comfortable.
What are you doing?
And not that you're necessarily doing it to be malicious or mean in any way. It's just human nature. It's easy to get comfortable and complacent and not really remember to make sure that your partner knows how grateful you are for them and how appreciative you are of all the little things they do every day.
Yeah. And then, once you stop recognizing the little things, then they become chores instead of something that you're doing for the person. So, example, I'm not a very traditional person, but I really enjoy packing Gavin's lunches and dinners for work. And I am aware that most of the time he gives them away to other people to eat. Because he doesn't really believe in taking a lunch break. He just, something about being busy at work. How it's not time.
Nurses don't have time to pee.
Yeah,
so.
Whatever. Anyways, so I get a really big kick out of packing his lunch and, I don't know, saving him that extra 10 minutes to, keep sleeping or to take a longer shower.
And we usually write a little note on a napkin. Yeah. It's real cute.
Yeah.
When we do that, too, we leave each other notes.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons we got this
whiteboard,
dry erase board, because we were usually on opposite schedules, because as a travel nurse, I usually worked nights.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really, really nice to come home from work early in the morning and shut the door and see a little note up there. Yeah. And then I'd erase it and write my little note for her to see when she got up to go to school.
Yeah. Plus, sometimes I duct tape notes to the front door. Or we also keep a dry erase marker in the bathroom, and we write notes on the mirror.
Oh, yeah, because it comes right off if you do it on the mirror. Just make sure it's a dry erase.
Yes. Because, sometimes our relationship feels like it's long distance just because of the time we don't have together because we're working opposite schedules. And, since we're so freaking joined at the hip, it sucks really bad. So, we try really hard to stay connected even when we don't have as much time together as we like.
Something I do and I believe in, I don't feel comfortable, sharing body functions. I don't even like to, brush my teeth in front of Shay. And my theory is that once you get so comfortable and complacent in your relationship that you're, passing gas in front of each other without concern or, doing all those, little mundane daily hygiene routines, I don't know. I feel like you kind of lose a little bit of the mystique. I don't know why, but that's what I believe. I don't think that my partner should be privy to all my personal hygiene routines, and I don't want to pass gas in front of her. I don't even like burping in front of her.
Which is really sweet. Unfortunately, I kind of burp like a frog all the time.
Yeah, but you've gotten much better. I've taught her to say, "Excuse me."
Yes, I even excuse myself when I'm in an empty room all by myself now because it's such habit. And unfortunately, I didn't get the memo about not brushing your teeth in front of the other, so I do it.
It's okay, baby.
But Gavin's really sweet about that. Somebody else was talking about, dates and stuff. I think even in the very beginning, we weren't really all that big about going out to dates. I think, because I've touched on before, I used to drink an awful lot, so...
We went to dinner a bunch.
Yeah, and we still do that, because we're both foodies, and we freaking love food. We go out to dinner.
Yeah, but for us, we're very fortunate. Basically, any time we get to spend together is like a date to us. We'll turn the simplest things into a date. here lately, we've been really enjoying what we call bathtub dates.
Yeah.
And so we'll run a nice warm or hot, I like it hotter, hot bath with some bubbles and some scent.
Yeah.
And we'll sit in it and watch, you know, whatever TV show we've picked at the time on Shay's little iPad. And
yeah, we'll bring in some snacks and some drinks, and then we'll cuddle in the tub for like 2 or 3 hours and watch our shows.
The last few nights it's been like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And that's our bathtub date.
And it's really fun.
Yeah. And for our anniversary, we have a tradition.
Yes.
We have a starlight picnic. So we go to one of our favorite spots on Shay's school campus, and it has this really pretty like rock sculpture, and then that's topped off by this beautiful bronze sculpture of Jacob's Ladder, and it's got like a little
water,
not a pond, but like it's like a water fountain thing,
flowing water thing.
Yeah, so you have the sound of the water, which is very relaxing, and so we'll lay out our blanket and eat our sandwiches and look up at the stars.
And we talk about the previous year. You know, we talk about good things and bad things, and, you know, things that we did well individually and things that we did well together. We talk about the hard times that we had and how we could do better with them, and kind of goals for the next year, and, you know, how to keep working together as a couple to make it better. You know, because Gavin mentioned earlier, it's hard work to maintain a good relationship.
Yeah. It is. And I think that's a big problem that a lot of people run into is, you know, a lot of people think that true love and all that jazz should just come naturally, and you shouldn't have to exert any effort, and if you do have to work at it, then it's not true love. But I don't think that's true at all. I think that the more you love someone, the harder you have to work and the harder you want to work to maintain that relationship and keep that other person happy. Yes. It's hard work, but it's a labor of love.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. And he's smart. I don't know. So yeah, that's our anniversaries. Those are some dates. Oh, another fun date of ours is the grocery store.
Oh, yeah.
And we're both, like, well, when I'm not in school, we're both extreme night people. Yeah. And so, you know, we'll go to Walmart at, like, 2 or 3 in the morning and have ridiculous times. And
because that's when all the freaks come out.
Yes, like us. So we'll just wander up and down the aisles being ridiculous and taking silly pictures. And it's fun. I don't know. It makes things so much easier when you legitimately enjoy the company of the person that you're with. I always had this theory growing up that, I mean, alright, think about your best friend or a sibling if they're your best friend, and you'll pretty much forgive them anything, you know? They forget to call you back, or they blow you off for a meal, or they're a jackass and they forgot something. Like, you'll forgive them anything, and while I know that your romantic partners are held to a higher standard, I've just always thought that I need to have that kind of relationship with a partner, because it just seems like bullshit that I would allow a friend to get away with more than I would the person I loved the most. So I'm very grateful to be in love with my best friend.
Yeah, because, I mean, I know it seems like this little window you're getting into our life and our relationship, it seems like all syrupy and sugary sweet and perfect, but you know, the reality of it is we do have disagreements. We do get irritated with one another. We do get mad at each other, and we inadvertently hurt each other's feelings occasionally. So, I mean, we do deal with our fair share of conflict, which I also believe is natural and healthy in a relationship, because if you don't have to deal with and overcome conflict, then it's really difficult to strengthen that bond you have. Because I always say it's in those times of conflict and adversity that you really realize how strong your relationship truly is. Yeah. So we do have our little spats. Yeah. But we're both, you know, mature, civilized adults, and instead of like screaming and yelling at each other, sometimes we have to give one another a little time to cool down, which is fine. And then we sit down and discuss it like civilized adults.
Yeah. And I think a wonderful thing about experiencing conflict with your partner, and I guess this is more when it's external conflict, not in between the two of you, is that you can see how they handle things and how they respond to things. And I don't know, it just makes me appreciate Gavin all the more to see how he deals with horrible, awful things, and just, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
And the same goes for Shay.
Yeah.
She never ceases to amaze me with her strength. She's my hero.
Yeah, this video is really sappy.
Hiro.
Super sappy.
Hiro Nakamura.
I mean, yeah, you know, so far it sounded really good, but I think in the last 3 years we've both had some awful things happen and some good things happen, and there's just been a lot of life changes happening for the both of us, you know, individually and as a couple.
Oh my gosh, this video is 16 minutes long.
Okay, I'll cut short. Sorry. And so
I know we're really self-absorbed. Right, we like to talk about each other.
But yeah, like, there's no way in fucking hell I would have been able to cope with a lot of stuff that's happened to me over the past couple of years if I didn't have really good backup support.
And ditto for you.
So, I don't know. Moral of the story is date your best friend. I recommend it.
Absolutely.
Alright, so thank you for listening to us mush about each other.
Also...
Yes, that's what I was about to say. Thank you for listening to us mush about each other for almost 17 minutes. And I hate to do this, but I'm kind of retiring from the channel. Life is ridiculous at the moment. So I just don't have time to give you guys the full amount of attention that you need. So, keep your fingers crossed, and I would like to be back maybe around December, so. But either way, it's been a whole lot of fun.
And I'm sure she'll do some guest slots or something like that.
Yes, I'll probably be in to do some guest slots. But yeah, you guys have fun and stuff.
Make good choices.
Make good choices.
And do great things.
Do wonderful, wonderful
Because
things.
whether y'all realize it or not, this channel is very important to the community.
Yes. So don't give up on us. Alright, talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye-bye now.